Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the KingstonKritic and. Okay, let's go. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name's Marcus, and I'm the KingstonKritic. This is somewhat of an experiment. I've always loved films, movies, video games, TV shows, and I've always had very strong opinions about just writing, direction, and the general tone and theme of certain shows. So I thought, let me throw my hat in the ring and just start making stuff on my own channel. I do enjoy the content of many other guys like Nerdrotic and those kind of people. And then I realized that there is an audience for this kind of thing. So starting out, formats may change, style may change, but I just wanted to get it going. So welcome! Now we're going to talk about Star Trek Picard, Episode 1, Remembrance. Alright, so like most of you who are major Star Trek fans, like what ended up happening for me was I read the articles, I looked on, lots and lots of like, what is this gonna hold? What's gonna happen? Is it gonna be too woke? And I mean, I'm personally one of the people of the opinion that, yeah, there are a lot of like super feminist movies with an unusually woke narrative that tends to just kind of make for this environment of a lot of very hollow characters and predictable scenarios. And I think when you're an audience member watching something and you're like, oh boy, here comes the black boyfriend or diversity, like you don't enjoy the story as much. So I did understand the concerns of the people who are like, okay, Patrick Stewart was saying, well, in the age of Trump and Brexit, so people are like, oh God, it's gonna be bad. But honestly, I really enjoyed the first episode. I'm gonna talk about what I liked, and then I'll just talk about the woke stuff after. So basically, first of all, I am a huge Patrick Stewart fan, so there's some obvious bias here. I thought that the way they introduced him as a character was quite believable in the context of who he is historically. Now, I've watched all of the Next Generation, all of Star Trek Voyager, all of Deep Space Nine, pretty much all the Star Trek movies and all the stuff in the Kelvin timeline. With the exception of Star Trek Discovery, I've only watched one season. I couldn't go past one season. It was unwatchable for me after that. But basically, the way they introduce this character on the farm, kind of, musing or moping about his past life, dreaming about Data, it felt very real to me. And, I know a lot of people are saying that the conflict with the synthetics has been done. AI has been done. Cloning has been done. All the things that are in the episode have been done. But, at the end of the day, to me, okay, it's science fiction, right? I just said, is it believable enough for me to enjoy it? Now, that's the difference for me between Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard so far. I mean, I can't assess the whole season yet, right? But as I was watching Star Trek Discovery, what kept happening was, I couldn't suspend my disbelief. Like, I was like, she's too knowledgeable. And why is every guy evil? So what started happening is like every guy that showed up in Discovery would be a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Every woman that showed up would be a savior. Every single time. So it kind of made watching the show boring. Because, they're going to soften up the guys and toughen up the women. Let's get it, guys! So, going back to Picard now, immediately I felt a sense of, okay, I know this character. I know his moral, sensibility. Watching all those dozens and dozens of episodes, you get a good sense of Picard and over the movies. So, his sensibility relating to synthetic beings, it makes perfect sense to me. It makes sense that someone like Picard, whose best friend, one of them, was an android, would have, a vested interest in the possibility of saving or helping Data's daughter, who is obviously has been created by some kind of bizarro cloning thingamajiggy, but again, sci-fi. So what I liked about it was just the way they presented the universe. It was, I think, well done. You got a sense of the time. I think it flowed well in terms of pacing. You know what I mean? I'm not really gonna nitpick too much on, like glaring holes, like the whole supernova thing. And I'm not really gonna pick on that too much because what I notice is when I'm watching a science fiction show, like the first thing, my default mode is this is not real. So whatever they kind of say, I just kind of say, okay, supernova, kill the people. All right, like whatever. Let's not look at all the science, because if you look at all the science all the time, I don't think you can really enjoy the show. It becomes much harder to just enjoy it as a product. So generally speaking, at the end of the episode, I felt, wow, I would like to see what happens next. I thought it was well done, well acted. I think they set up the conflict reasonably well. Synthetics destroyed some colony. This girl isn't synthetic and she didn't know. Picard is here to help her. And then there is some conflict with the Romulans and the Vulcans, who for some reason look exactly alike. And I think it's an interesting way to set up a Star Trek franchise. It feels to me like real Star Trek. Definitely was better than Discovery Episode 1 for me. It just felt like, wow, this is really interesting. I think if Discovery hadn't happened and there weren't all these woke feminist movies, people might have just been like, hey, I like this. But I think most of the critics who've spent so much time like lambasting, Star Wars and all these movies, which deserved it, they're going to look at things with a kind of skeptical eye, and they're going to look for wokeness and, script plot holes and all these things like immediately. Okay, so that said, the woke stuff, let's talk about it. I mean, it's basically inescapable now for anyone to not have woke messages. I mean, first scene of Picard, when the protagonist is introduced, the young woman, I mean, she has the black boyfriend. And I was just like, of course he's black, But not only is he black, he has like these alien jerry curl looking, this disgusting looking hair, and he has gills. So not just a black guy, but the black guy with gills in his eyes. Wow, And I said to myself, wow, this guy is not gonna last. Because another thing with these, I guess, progressive science fiction shows is that if there is a love interest, he or she dies very quickly, especially if it's like, the hetero couple. And I was like, this guy isn't gonna last. And he lasted all of what, like maybe 1 minute. So that kind of fit into the kind of dark, Kurtzmandian kind of thing that happens where everything is dark, everything is painful, everyone is lonely, and love has no place in a big, bad universe. But other than that, I mean, I like the fact that, we had this character who wasn't aware she was synthetic. Been done already, but really good acting. She's a very believable actress, I didn't expect her to die in the first episode, but then I was like, there's probably another one. Like in my mind, I was like, maybe there's one more, or the series would be done. And then there was one more. So I was like, that's cool, that's, horribly convenient, but cool. And I like that. The other elements of it, like looking on our political landscape. Okay, so obviously, they're going this like kind of Black Lives, all lives matter kind of thing, because in an interview the lady's like, Picard is like, thousands of people were killed, and the lady's like, Romulan lives? You mean Romulan lives? So the lady's obviously like, Romulan lives, they're not real people. And I'm surprised Picard didn't say, all lives matter. So in that vein, I do see the political messages that are being kind of dropped in there, and the anti-synthetic. So basically, the Romulans are now, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, and if the motivations of the story, intertwine too strongly with the motivations of the political environment. I didn't get too much of it, but at the end of the episode, we see that there is a, this ragtag crew of renegade type people who Picard's going to be rolling with. There's the blonde doctor lady, the big sassy black woman. I wonder what kind of people she likes sleeping with. Then I don't know, but like a kind of Hispanic looking guy. And yeah, I'm just, in my mind, I'm just like, where's the Asian guy? Where's the Asian guy? Come on, let's hit that diversity quota, guys. But it looks interesting. I really enjoyed it. I was looking through the comments on other videos, and it's just so much hate and negativity. And I mean, I'm not being shilly. I just actually liked it. And as I said before, I did not like Star Trek Discovery at all. I just like the fact that Star Trek is going. This one is a little bit less wokey. I mean, there's always going to be like some soy boy kind of characters, like some badass female, or so badass it's gonna annoy people. That's just part of the canon now, apparently. But I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm curious to see what the Kurtzman team does, and if they're not trying to completely railroad this with too many political messages. I mean, but if they do, then I will have something to talk about. But that's just my opinion. I mean, I've actually started and stopped watching quite a number of shows because of extremely woke themes, weak writing, and uncompelling characters. So I'm being a little bit biased here in this first review because I kind of want to just enjoy Picard, for at least a couple episodes before I, look for things I don't like. I don't usually focus too much on the origin stories of things. Even, like in Star Trek Discovery, Michael Burnham's journey. I like the way she was like a villain, I like that flipping the switch. Like, she did the wrong thing. She was going to jail, and then, I like that. So when it comes to, Picard, let's see where it goes, I definitely think I can predict a couple things that are going to happen, I just hope it's not more, white men bad, woman good. I mean, if that happens, I'll just laugh. But as I said, this is the first review. I'll figure out some more stuff to review. If you like it, definitely subscribe, click on the button. Let me know what you'd like me to talk about, if you like this review style, or check out a couple videos and then decide and subscribe then. All right, peace.